Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguTando Mdletshe, and on this channel sifunde incwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwesiZulu bese sizala sizokhuluma ngazo. Le ndaba esuke siyifundile senzela laba phela abasuke bengenaso isikhathi ukuthi bayifunde incwadi nalabo abasuke benqena nje ukufunda. Guys, those who like my Zulu books content, do not forget to subscribe to Zulu Books by Ntando Mdletshe. We are busy with incwadi ebizwa ngokuthi ithemba lokugcina on that side. Siyaphinda ke futhi on this channel sibuka ama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese sizala sokhuluma ngayo lama shows, senza ama reviews ama recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma nga any other issues avukayo uma ngabe lama shows sesiwabukile ku TV, and today we are doing any other issues. Okay, you guys, uma ngabe uqala ujoina namhlanje and you happen to really like our content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi bese upressa I notification bell ukuze subscribe ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesi ufakile. Guys, I did do okay, number one, I missed the episode yomnakwethu, so I haven't watched. Apparently it was hot. I'm so sad about it. But I was busy being a mom, I just couldn't watch it. And yeah, but review live with Kelly Kumalo, it's coming later on today. But just quickly, I just want to talk about, because I was supposed to do the review episode 4 of I YouTubed in isho yengane your TV. Your TV. Listen, you guys, I didn't do the reviews all because I was like, yeah, guys, I was bored because it was a good episode, you guys. It was a good episode. Had they not led us to think they were going to show us that footage of a fight Neo and Naledi, so that we could judge for ourselves who was wrong in the acrimony, like Sims would say. So we still don't know who was wrong in the acrimony. We're just making assumptions. But I just want to talk a little bit, you guys, about this issue Neo kanye noLukhuzana noNaledi. And honestly, you guys, I think honestly it's a mess right now. But I do feel like also the people that could fix it is the two people that were in that fight. And honestly, I do think that they did the best that they could, the two of them, to make sure that this fight doesn't get to where it is right now. I do think that, you guys, I think that the people that messed up, honestly, is the other people that were not even part of that fight. I think the other housemates are the ones that exaggerated, are the ones that talked about the story, which was not really their story, and they gave us misleading information, and it caused this whole fiasco. And I do also think that the producer of the show as well didn't do anything to prevent that from happening. But the two ladies, guys, that were in the fight, I really want us to talk about it, because if you think about it, those two got in that fight, and if you watch episode the following day, if you watch the episodes, the scene that they show the following day, they're in the kitchen, they're cooking. Uneo doesn't seem to have a problem with what had happened the previous night. Maybe internally she is processing, but it's not like she's coming out to say, guys, you know what happened last night. It just seemed like, it's not something that she wanted to talk about. Even for her to talk about it on the show, it's because she was having that sit down with Tato. Tato asked her about it, and also she was asked about it in the confessionals, the diary sessions. That's where she was asked about it. And I didn't feel like she had an intention of really talking in details about it. Honestly, I didn't feel like that was her intention on Neo to talk about it. And obviously Naledi had already left. Here's the thing, you guys, those two got into a fight, which both of them have said, because Naledi did a video and said that they got into the altercation, and she apologized, because she does say in her video that she was wrong and she apologized for it. And Neo does confirm that the following morning Naledi came to her and said, listen, I'm really sorry about what happened last night, we need to talk, which was earlier that morning. So I do think that the altercation did happen, and there was physical stuff that happened in that altercation. But we have to know, Tugutu Neo does say on her live that she did yesterday, the others don't know what happened. It's the two of them that know what happened. But for me, it really is amazing how much the others are talking about the fight, when Neo is saying, even on her live, or that audio that was leaked, that the others actually don't know what happened. It's the two of them that know what happened, but the others who were not there or who came later are the ones that are talking about the fight. But here's the thing, you guys. This is why I think that the two of them, even though it wasn't their intention that it gets to where it has gotten right now, that I still think that it's up to them whether this ends or not. Okay. I do feel like both the ladies have some accountability to take in this whole situation, you guys. And I feel like when you get into an altercation, there's never really one person that is all the way wrong and then one person that is all the way right. Unless I'm sitting down here doing nothing and then somebody comes into this room and shouts at me and I don't say anything and then hits me and then walks out. I don't say anything, I don't act, I don't do anything, then that will be different. But in an altercation where there is an exchange, there's always somebody, people that are in that fight both have to take some kind of responsibility. Let me start with Naledi, you guys. Obviously the fight happened and she ended up leaving the house. And when she did the video where she's explaining why she left the house, you guys, I did like the fact that she mentions the altercation. I did like the fact that she does say that she was wrong. I did like the fact that she did say that she apologized to Neo. And there's nothing really negative that Naledi said about Neo in that video. However, you guys, I am disappointed with Naledi that she did not give us the details really of what happened in that fight, because I think anybody should have known that they were because nobody was wanting to present Naledi as a good person in that reality show. Their intention really was to show us that Naledi is not a good person. It's clear when you watch that show. So I think that she should have predicted that that's how they're going to present that show, and she should have just given us the details. Give us the details, tell us that the fight got physical, even if it was just a small push or the pointing in the face, whatever it is. She should have given us the details so that as the viewers, as the people that like her and watch her channel, we are prepared. If we are defending her, we know exactly what happened. I think that from her side, it was a mistake that she did not give us the details of what happened in that fight, and as a result, it gave the others ammunition, because now it's like, why didn't she tell you guys the whole story? So I personally, as a viewer, Naledi, was disappointed that she didn't give me the details. I would have loved to get those details from her so that I understand fully what happened before it even came out on the show. Okay, and then we come to Neo's side, you guys. I like Neo. I wasn't used to Neo before, but I liked her. I liked Uguti when she came to the show. She really came with positive spirits. I think she's one person that when she came there, she was all positive. She wanted to get along with everybody. It was about having fun with everybody. And she's the only one actually on that show that refers to Naledi as a friend. So when they were doing the show, they were friends. She's the only one that is saying that Naledi is my friend during the show. And I liked Uguti Neo dealt with that situation in a friend, as a friend, friend with that happened, altercation. It wasn't right, it wasn't correct. They spoke, they forgive each other. They were intending to move on with their lives. But obviously things happen afterwards, because from how the show was presented, Naledi is not being presented as a nice person, and all of the attacks are going Naledi's way, which is really, honestly, the reason I think she leaked that voice note that Neo had sent to him. Because who else would leak the voice notes? The voice notes was sent to Neo, not to Naledi. And Naledi obviously felt that she was being attacked about something that people really don't understand how it happened. And I felt like really it was a good defense when the voice note came, because it clarified that, listen guys, the person that I got into a fight with thinks it wasn't as big of a deal as the others think. There was nobody that was going to be thrown off the balcony like others lied to us about. There was nobody. It wasn't, because one was saying, one was beating the other. This is what we were imagining. Naledi beating Neo. And now when she explains it, the way that I understood she explains it is that they were having a verbal altercation, both of them, and Naledi put her hands on her face and pushed her and made her sit down, which really is wrong, guys. I'm not gonna lie, that is wrong. And for me, if you did that to me, it wouldn't end with just us having a verbal altercation. It would get ugly because you're not gonna do that to me. That was wrong. But the way that Uneo explains the fights and the way that the other kids are explaining the fights is like Ngati Bebe in two different countries when the fight took place, you know. So I understood, even though I do understand Neo's betrayal in the voice note, because there was the just a private conversation between the two of them, the two people that went through that altercation. It was private between the two of them. They were supporting each other. But I do also get why Naledi leaked that audio, because she wanted people to see, listen guys, this is not what Neo feels about the fight. She feels like we settled it, and she's also feeling like the others are exaggerating, which is what we got. They're exaggerating. Some of them are even plain lying. You know, why are you kids lying to us? What is that balcony thing, honestly? Anyway, okay, I understood it, why Naledi did it, but I understand the betrayal, because if we went through this altercation and I decided that I'm going to be forgiving in that situation, and we forgive each other and we're trying to move on, why are you leaking the private conversations between the two of them? Because you do not know how the next person is going to interpret that voice note. I understand how she feels betrayed, but I also appreciate the leaking of the audio, because had the audio not been leaked, we would have not gotten the details of how that fight went down, because Uneo was determined not to come out here and defend herself. She was determined not to come out here and talk about the fight. She wasn't going to do it. So had we not gotten that leak of the voice notes between Naledi and Neo, which by the way has clarified to us that the others have exaggerated about the fight, and that after the fight had taken place, these two people were okay with each other. In fact, in that voice note, she indicates Naledi is the one that contacted her to check on her, because at the end of the voice note, she says, Uneo, thank you so much, girl, for checking on me. Or thank you so much, friend, for checking on me. So these people were okay with each other. They were checking on, they were still friends up to that point. So, but I appreciate, me as a viewer, Ngithanda Izindaba, I appreciate the leaking of the audio, because had it not leaked, then Uneo wouldn't have felt the need to come and defend herself. And in defending herself, Uneo, she has given us a full story of what happened in that fight, which is what Utato has failed to give us on the show, which is what the other kids that are busy, you know, they are just busy, but they're not giving us the story of what really happened. So I love the leaking of the audio, because that is what made Uneo come out here and give us the story. But here's the thing that comes out in the story. A lot of the things that she said, we already knew that they were coming from the club. Yesterday it came out that the fight was about a boy. So I'm thinking, these ladies are fighting about a boy, like really now? But then we find out that it wasn't just a random guy from the club. It was about Neo's brother. Because now we were thinking, Babe Bangindota. We're like, how? Nize nilo kangaka bangindota madoda maningi kangaka in South Africa, God. You know, particularly sometimes kids don't know that leave this one, you'll get another one. So we thought that's why they were fighting, but we find out no. Naledi had said something offensive, referring to Neo's brother, which offended Uneo. They get home to the house, and Uneo wanted to talk. Now does point out that both of them were under the influence of alcohol, but she wanted to address the issue before she went to bed. I do understand why sometimes you want to talk about something, because in Tomanga Big Slupa sometimes you can't sleep. You know, she wanted to talk about it. She goes to Naledi's room. She tries to talk to Naledi. Naledi is not listening. Naledi doesn't want to talk, but she wants to talk. She points out to Neo how many times she says, let me speak. If you would let me speak. If you would let me speak. Which gives me an indication that at that time, Naledi was not willing to talk. On top of that, she was under the influence of alcohol. She did not want to talk. She even says, Uneo, that Naledi says, get this bee out of my room. Which really confirms for me, at that particular time, Naledi was not willing to talk. Okay. So since they were not leaving her alone, it escalated and it got to a point where the wrongest of all wrongs happens, which was the physical, the way that Uno explains it, and then it got even ugly. Here's the thing, you guys. Like I said, that I'm disappointed that Naledi did not reveal everything that happened when it comes to that fight. But I do feel like a little bit she did take responsibility for being the one that was wrong, and she does say that she apologized. But I feel like she should have been transparent and said, I got physical with Neo. I am not proud of that, and I am sorry that I did that, so that we knew that the fight got physical. But on the side, Neo, you guys, what I have a problem, I appreciate that Neo came out here and gave us the full story. Finally, we know what happened, even though there's no footage, but finally we know what happened. But as a woman, I am like, there is no way that you are going to come here and be all the way victim in an altercation. It cannot be. If you are somebody that is able to reflect, you must be able to say, take some accountability for that fight, no matter how little or small it is. The fact that you walk into that room knowing very well both of you were both intoxicated already, and she was indicating by all means that she does not want to talk to you, she's not willing to talk. Can you not, sis, just take a little bit of accountability to say, listen, it was the wrong time for us to talk because we were intoxicated, and also it was the wrong time for us to talk because she wasn't willing to talk. And a number of times she said to me that she is not willing to talk. I should have let it go, because the following morning and Naledi is the one that came and said, listen, I'm sorry about last night, which means had Uneo just waited until the following morning, they probably could have had a different conversation. Nobody would have been touched, and it wouldn't have been this big thing that it is now. What I'm saying is that at this point, you guys, you just need to grow up, both of you. Nobody here is like 100% victim. Both of you just need to sit down now and take some accountability. I understand that people want to protect their brands, but I feel like they should have thought about that before they went to Cape Town. At this point, like, your brands are already affected. So just sit down now and just take some accountability so that you can end this whole thing. Nobody is 100% a victim here. Nobody is 100% victim here. And the thing about it is that both these ladies were Tato's friends, but I do feel like Neo was more Tato's friend than Naledi. And as a result, Tato tried by all means to protect the friend that was the closest to him. Then the other one gets all the backlash. And I feel like that is not fair. The two ladies need to grow up right now. Naledi, if you're going to take responsibility, be transparent about it and take full responsibility. I do not think ama viewers ako that they have stuck with you for so long will just leave you now just because you made that mistake. If you come out here and explain what happened, what are you taking responsibility for? Are you denying that there was a physical altercation? Do you confess that there was a physical altercation? What are you willing to take accountability for in that fight? Neo, Sisi, you are not 100% innocent in this. If you're going to resolve it and you are going to make it okay with you internally, there is some part, Naledi might have been more wrong, but there is some part of this that you have to take accountability for. The fact that you don't want to speak about it because of your brand is already out here, and your name is being mentioned every second of the day. So you might as well just resolve it and come out here and take some responsibility. Nobody in this situation is 100% victim, and that for me is what I cannot accept from these women, guys. It's time to grow up. It's time to woman up. They say it's time to man up, but it's time to woman up. Only the two of you can end this whole thing. Only the two of you can end this whole thing. It's unfortunate that it looks like a friendship is ending, but ama actions that have been taken along the way, I do understand them, because if you are being attacked on in the internet, you're going to do everything that you can to protect yourself, and like you guys like to say, to protect your brand. Anyway, you guys, that is my thought on this whole situation. Those who say they want to go to season 2, guys, think about your brands before you go to season 2, because honestly, you guys, you are not able to control a narrative. You're going reality show. Only the people that edit the show are able to control it. So just know that if you go on this show, you're not going to be able to control how they show you to the public, and it might be more stress than it is. You might lose more than you gain. Ama-subscribers also gain, but internally, peace, are you not going to lose the peace, because this is what you might be going through after. So this is like a perfect example. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegiona. Share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ngithanda kakhulu.